So, right now I'm sitting out in an abandoned trailer in the middle of the forest. I realized for the last couple months I've just kind of disappeared from the internet a little bit. I've kind of mentioned in a couple videos that I'm moving to the forest, but I didn't really explain what exactly was happening, and I'm here now. I have no control over what this video looks like because we are working with natural sunlight here in this forest. Oh, there it goes. See, changing again. So when the pandemic happened in 2020, I kind of had to do some life reevaluating, like a lot of people did. And one of the things that I reevaluated was the fact that we were paying a lot of money in rent, and rent is a scam. Renting a place is just paying for someone else's mortgage, which is ridiculous to me. That loud squawking is peacocks. There are peacocks here on this farm. I didn't like that. I did not like that my money was going into someone else's equity and investments. There is a certain freedom that comes with renting, but it also does cost you a lot of money and income and equity and all that fun financial garbage. So I decided I didn't want to do that anymore, particularly because my dad passed away a couple years ago. I did not really know my dad. He kind of left my family when I was like 2. A lot of my dad's side of the family live in the middle of nowhere in Washington. Forest nowhere. In the woods. So in my family, they have a section of land out in the middle of nowhere, and that land was divided into 3 parts and passed down from my grandparents to their children, my uncles and father. But my dad never had a chance to inherit that property, so instead, the family thought that it would be better if it went to me and my younger sister. Also, having realized the only way to really get ahead in this world is to have some form of generational wealth, I decided to take advantage of that property and build a tiny little house on it and move into the forest, into the woods. It's slowly coming along. I'm putting in the insulation and stuff right now. My family is helping me because they're far more skilled than I am at building things, and they know how to do this stuff. So there's a really valuable well of knowledge here that I have access to. And so why wouldn't I try to take advantage of that and just use it to its fullest potential and not pay rent? All of the money that I would otherwise spend in rent, I can spend investing into this property and building it up into something that I could retire to someday. And I'm making it look like a little gingerbread house. It's so cute. What do you think of my big old denim jacket? Hell yeah, the 90s are coming back. So my dad's side of the family works in construction. They used to build sheds for a living. They also built all of their own houses. So a tiny house is very much within their wheelhouse. I don't know what he's barking at. And so part of the reason that I have not been uploading very many videos is because I have been having to repack my entire life to travel cross country with a dog from Arizona to Washington into a forest. I had to get rid of a lot of stuff because I am moving into a much smaller space. So I had to cut down on a lot. But luckily, instead of having to ship my entire life in pieces across the country, a very sweet family member, my Uncle Gary, managed to come down with a truck and help me drive everything up north. I do not have a truck. I do not have access to such things. I'm also like a fresh driver. I just recently got my driver's license. I'm like a child on the inside. So we threw all of my life into the back of a truck, and we didn't want to have a very stressful trip, so we broke it up into a bunch of different days and just kind of took it in pieces, did lots of visiting, kept it very low stress. I packed all of my stuff in very uniform boxes, so it was very simple to just throw it in the back of a truck and not worry about it. And then from Phoenix, we went to Lake Havasu, which is a very small kind of spring break touristy lake town in Arizona. It's about the same temperature as Arizona, but there's a lot more tourists. It's a very big spring break spot. The main reason we wanted to stop in Lake Havasu is because that's where my older half-sister lives, and she just became a grandmother, which means I just became a great aunt, and I got to meet my grandniece, which is so weird. I am too young to have a grandniece. It's really weird, but she was so cute and so tiny. I was so glad I got to see her before I left the state. I also made sandwiches for everyone. That was fun. I used to work at a bakery, and part of my job was making big ol' sub sandwiches, and so I've gotten pretty good at it. I make a good sub sandwich. Take me to your family picnic. We also got to take Ben to the lake of Lake Havasu, which was his first experience ever with big water, and he kept trying to eat it. My silly dog. Use this trailer for storage. Because my older sister has access to a lake, last Christmas I sent her a fishing magnet, which are these massive neodymium magnets on really long ropes that you can chuck out into heavily trafficked water and pull them back, and sometimes you'll get like a bike or some fishing hooks or a gun. I've seen a couple viral videos of that happening. So me, my sister, her girlfriend, and my uncle went out kind of late at night and just threw the magnet around in the middle of Havasu Lake. It was fun. We got 6 fishing hooks, a key pin, a fishing bell, which was really cool, a bunch of screws and bolts, and a reel from a fishing rod. A bunch of little treasures. Garbage is treasure when you find it yourself. Lake Havasu is a pretty cool little town. From there we went up through California, stopped in a random little town to stay at a hotel for the night. Ben, my dog, did super well, both in the hotel and on the trip. He's a very good travel dog. He just likes to sleep in cars. I have so many cute pictures of him falling asleep. And then from there we went to Northern California and stayed for a few days at my cousin's place, my uncle's son and daughter-in-law. They have some really cute kids. I also consider them to be my nieces, even though I think technically we're second cousins. I don't know how that works, but I'm their aunt too. I enjoy being Auntie Echo. I am more than happy to be Auntie of the internet. My dad's side of the family, apparently can't feel pain because they do so many industrial things, motorcycles and dirt bikes and kind of more extreme sports. I think they have a bit of an adrenaline addiction. It makes me realize just how fragile I truly am. Just a poor, fragile city person moving to the woods. At one point, we stopped at a rest stop and there were cows. Ben has never seen cows before, so he just kind of barked at them like they were dogs that were really far away. It was kind of funny watching him get closer and closer and realizing just how big they actually are. Getting to watch him experience so many farm dog things for the first time has been really exciting for me. He's never been on really long car rides. He's never smelled goat poop. He's never seen a chicken. Still kind of worried about that one. Please don't be a chicken chasing dog. Chickens are friends, not food yet. Then when we left Northern California, we stayed one night in Oregon and then up to Washington where we are now. And now I'm here on my uncle's family farm. They have goats and peacocks and chickens and huge tracts of land. They have like 8 acres, but most of it is just like unused forest. My uncle also likes cars. He's a little bit of a hoarder when it comes to vehicles he probably doesn't need. We all find our happiness in different places, and he has definitely found his in the vehicles. And so right now my whole life is just kind of stacked in boxes here in this abandoned trailer in the woods while I continue to build my cute little gingerbread house in the forest. So I'm probably going to be making a bunch of videos just sort of talking about the process and everything that I'm going through up here, because it's a really weird thing that I have decided to do with my life, but that's kind of how I roll. I make weird life choices, and I honestly don't think I would want it any other way. I live a very strange but exciting life. Another really big reason that I wanted to move up here is because I have just been dying to grow a really big garden. I just want to grow food. I just want to have lots of really beautiful vining plants and gourds and pumpkins. I just want to grow really cool varieties of seeds and do fun things with the earth, like a forest witch living in a gingerbread house, luring children to their doom. But really, I'm just gonna grow lots of really cool plants. Oh, and quail! We're doing quail too. That's fun. About like 3 dozen quail eggs, and we're hatching them now. I don't know how many are gonna hatch, but I'm excited. I'm gonna have quail. I'm gonna have to learn how to butcher quail. That's not gonna be fun. Girls gotta eat. And I know I'm probably gonna get judged for that, and that's tragic, and meat is stupid, but I'm gonna butcher some quails and some fish. And probably nothing bigger than that because I'm a tiny, fragile little girl. I can barely put a worm on a hook without squirming. It just makes me really uncomfortable when they wiggle because they're dying. I'm not giving up Arizona cold turkey though because I don't like cold, so I'm not staying here in the snow. In the winter, I'm gonna be a young snowbird. That's an Arizona word. We use it for the old people who migrate in their retirement. I'm coming north when Arizona's on fire, and I'm going south when Washington freezes over. It's kind of cold at night here, but in the daytime, it's like perfect. We're in the mid-60s right now. We're just getting out of cold season, and I'm trying to plant as many things as I can. So if I disappear from the internet, just know that I'm in the forest and there's not a lot of internet here. It's a scarce resource. But the little pockets that do have internet are like A+ internet. When I get that hookup, dude, I'm gonna have internet for days. Best believe my gingerbread house is gonna have Wi-Fi. I'm gonna be unstoppable. Oh, hell yeah. The most tech-savvy, plant-growing forest nature lady ever. You know that one woman in Kiki's delivery service who just lives out in the forest and draws crows? I think that's the vibe I'm manifesting. Really, that's all I've got for you today. I just wanted to tell you what is going on and why my life is so ridiculous and why I have not been uploading as much as I normally do. I just have a lot going on, and it's a bunch of really fun things. I'm growing food. I have so many little plant starts going right now. I'm gonna grow gourds and pumpkins, and half the things are probably gonna die, but as long as I can get some of them, I'll be ecstatic. So I'm just gonna be like a forest goblin for a while. I hope that you're okay with that. And if you want to, you can come along with me on this very strange journey, because I've got so many things to talk about. Like, I restored a stove from the ground up. We restored a stove, an iron cast wood burning stove. There are so many cool things happening. I'm learning so much about how to make things and how to garden and how to build stuff and how to work with more industrial tools. I think that's really all I have for you today for now. Hopefully I'll see you again later. But for now, I'm just gonna go be in the forest. Throw some seeds in the dirt, move some water around, build some garden beds. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Get vaccinated if you can. Appointments are finally starting to kind of free up. It's completely free. I've done it. Lots of my family's done it. If you're healthy enough, please get vaccinated to protect those around you. And hopefully I will see you guys later. Goodbye.